Okay. We need to know how to change your actual life. How to actually do it. Not the sentence of, you don't need to know how. You just need to be it. And you will see your reality change. Stopping at that sentence is literally like reading the title of a book and then telling someone, okay, go ahead, do it. Change your entire life. Change the entire processing system of every single cell, of every single neural pathway that you've created that's keeping the form of your life in this form as it is, which is something that you do not prefer, which is why you're asking this question, which is why you even listened this long to this little video. So it's like, we need to know how. We actually need people to fucking do it in the world, not sell a course or a book saying you're gonna get it done in 5 minutes. That's a fucking lie. That's all lie. All lies. Because you can't change your entire life and sustain that with one mindset in 5 minutes, because you have 28 years of programming, or however old, doing the complete opposite at the same time. So don't you think it's gonna take some time to accomplish this? It does take time. It does take time because it takes consistent effort in terms of not force. We think of them in America, effort is force, staying up 12 hours, later that staying up 24 hours and working and going crazy, and that's what we're taught to force. But actually, the windfalls and the business people learned that they let themselves accept themselves to have the success using the laws of spirituality, the universe. They allowed themselves to accept the success finally because they made 100 calls a day, because they did the grinding work, because they now feel like they deserve it. But if you know the laws of the universe very well, because you failed at everything possible many times, many times, to where you want to no longer take part in society or life, or you just want to check out even, right? You might just even want to just check out. And that's what we do on the weekends, and we drink, we have uncommittal sex, and we do whatever the fuck it stimulates us to keep going, or is a addiction that we can rely on to shock our body up and distract us from the fact that we don't want to look at the feelings, but the actual laws I'm going to talk about in one of my next YouTube videos. And I just realized all of my videos were set to private. And sometimes you needed to learn lessons, because now I'm capable of commenting paragraphs, of seeing people to the degree that I want to be seen, of working that hard for me, because I've sufficiently struggled emotionally and I'm done. Doesn't mean I'll never have a bad day again. Doesn't mean I'll never have terrible things happen, possibly. But I'm not going to stray away and be afraid of making decisions anymore and allow myself into victimhood forever. There are certain things you can't control that happen to you. You really can't control it. And it's not saying to bypass any of that by just being like, oh, I'm not a victim, I'm gonna heal this. I'm just saying at a certain point you have to learn how to get through certain things. If you went through crazy shit, you might have to go to therapy 2 times a week for 3 years. You might have to have all of these experiences where you learn, where you look stupid, and when you just feel like you don't know what's going on, and you get diagnosed with shit, and you don't want to take medication because you don't want to be dull and you want to create. Well, there's a whole learning process. There's people that have done this before and walked this before, and when you finally get to actually physically creating things that you want, like I've already done. I've done that. I created a space in work where now I feel safe. And that was my main, emotionally safe. That was my main goal. And that doesn't work for everybody in the same exact way with the same exact people, because it's how you're reacting to your environment that matters. And how you're reacting and interacting with yourself that matters. That is what is creating your reality, and the people to act, the same person act different to you than to anybody else. So I'm not talking about manipulating people. I'm talking about literally you're doing what you can with the choices that you have. Then you're not deciding to not decide, because not deciding, you're going to be a match for the universe to fill something in there. And not deciding and acting like you could just rely on the fact that you've been abused before, you're gonna keep getting abuse from the universe. You're gonna be a match to tragedies. And I don't think we have the capacity to withstand this anymore. The world is going through tragedies. We need to understand how these things work so that we can embody and actually physically live a life that we enjoy. I'm not saying every moment's gonna be easy. I'm not saying everything, you don't have to set boundaries and all this shit. No, I'm saying just creating a life that is worth for you personally living, because you are proud of it and you go towards your creative endeavors. You go towards people that you love. You go towards like in energy even. You I'm saying like you try things, and because you try those things and you're being vulnerable with yourself and the world, you are making decisions, and those decisions are giving you information, and that information is not always easy to digest. Just like if you see a report at the end of the day and you're not where you wanted to be, or you didn't get the leads that you wanted, you don't just stop. You don't just not show up the next day, because there's a whole company, there's a bigger purpose. There's just because other people are running it, you believe in them. So we're starting to abolish all trust in the government. We're starting to abolish trust in others, because we're trying to find that source of trust in ourselves. And when I'm telling you, when you actually do, you can still work for other people, but you could be creating your dreams. You could be living your dreams. You could be enjoying in gratitude every day and not forcing it and writing it down and trying to, no, you literally just fall to the ground in gratitude, because you actually realize, holy shit, I am embodying this because I've done that hard work. I continue to do the hard work. I continue to feel even the uncomfortable things. I continue to look at all the ways that I'm acting in multiple facets of my life, in multiple facets of my personality and self, and realize what's not working for me. What personality aspects of myself are not working for me? Because those are the things that I need to change, and you can't do that when you're in a victim mindset the entire time. And there is a time and space for that. But at a certain point, and especially if you're resonating with this video, it might just be, whoa, I actually do hold the power. And whoa, when I quit avoiding, quit going out with those people that I know weren't good for me, with the fucking drinking and the smoking and all the shit that I know I'm avoiding something, whoa. And I'm here for this. I'm here for this. I'm here for people on that journey, because it's not fucking easy. You want friends to do that with. You want community, and there are people out there with that. I've created that physically in my life, and I want to create that online and physically. I live in Asheville. Like, I've already gotten some comments, and I'm feeling hype again. I've started many, many different things, and I never continued them. And I always avoided YouTube. Always. And there's a video at the beginning of this journey, well, somewhat of the beginning. I started and stopped too. I realized a bunch of my videos were on private for like months. That I said, I knew it would be on YouTube. holy shit, because it's a community aspect. It's a community-oriented social media platform where you can search for things, and I'm a tarot reader, I'm a channeler. It's just natural to me. There's other people that do that too, but that doesn't mean that you can't spin your own thing on it. Literal spin, the tarot DJ, literally spinning. Okay, so literally spinning in my mind, but also spinning, like DJing, like switching tracks, like frequencies. All right, so let's fucking go. We don't have time to just, time is an illusion, but we don't have time to just fuck around anymore. Like, no, we're here to save the world. We're here to help the world. We're here to embody what we came here to do, because you have a purpose. Everybody does. It's completely different than everyone else's, and you deserve to live that out. And there's a bunch of different mediums and ways that you can do that if you're not afraid to be vulnerable and you're not afraid to be yourself. And do that incrementally so that you feel safe. It's all about actually you feeling safe and in being vulnerable. Don't overstep and do things that are way too, like, touching the end of the nerve. Just do it gradually. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.